Welcome, wonderful dreamers. Sometimes life decides to throw us curveballs, and the jungle that you finally cleared gets a second wind and comes for you again. However, I am still leagues ahead of where I was, so I'll focus on the good and keep moving forward. Nearly every day, I come out and dig up a bowl's worth of potatoes. And in a few more days, I will have the lot dug up, which means I will be able to get this bed ready to plant the new crop of garlic. I didn't maintain my tomato plants this season, but they are blooming and full of tomatoes. More tomatoes than I've grown on one plant before. Once the tomato starts blushing, I take it off the plant so it can continue to ripen inside. Makes it easier for me to deal with incoming tomatoes, and it takes pressure off the plant. My basil has flowered, so once it dries out, I should be able to collect a heap of seeds, creating the first generation of Reid Homestead Dream basil seeds. I have one alyssum bush surviving in the corner. The tomato plants shading it from the hot Australian sun has definitely helped it survive. I'm really looking forward to harvesting the first generation of carrot seeds. My butternut pumpkin is growing well, and I should get a few pumpkins from the vine. Hi, Max. You are still the cutest dog in the world. And sometimes something looks gone, but you put time and effort back in and discover it was alive the whole time. And I'm so grateful that my blueberry bush still had life and pushed up new growth. My dear blueberry bush, I promise to learn more and do better by you. I still have a little bit of parsley growing, shaded by the pumpkin vine. Back inside for the rest of the story. I've been collecting seeds, so I can start the first generation of Reid Homestead Dream seeds. These Hunter Valley brown onion seeds are now officially my first generation, grown from my soil, my environment. Also, I now have parsley that is now first generation seed. The parsley produced herb for me last season. It overwintered and grew again this season. Because it was in its second year, it bolted quite quickly, meaning it produced flowers. The flowers grow, then die, leaving dried seed heads. I then gather, sort, and store, making the harvest a first seed generation produced. That is a lot of parsley seed. The coriander is from a plant grown form, first generation seed, which makes what I'm gathering now the second generation. Such a beautiful bowl of coriander seed. I want to make more paper envelopes to store all of the seeds coming into the home. I enjoy the activity of making them, and they help keep the seeds organized. Plus, it adds that touch of homestead vibes, and each year has its own patterns and designs, giving an automatic visual on which year the packet was stored. Plus, there is a panel on the back for that kind of information. Paper seed packets from 2025. Paper seed packets from 2026. Plus, they look like plant pots, and I love that. I'm starting to have a nice amount of seed that was harvested and not bought. To record how much I am producing, I will use grams to weigh the seeds. I have 8 grams of second generation slow bolt coriander. I still have plenty from last year's harvest as well. I also ended up with 7 grams first-generation triple curled parsley, 4 grams first-generation early Californian red onion, 9 g of first-generation Hunter Valley brown onion, with carrot seed and basil seed on the way. So instead of this year being the overly productive season I planned it to be, it ended up being a season where I saved a lot of seeds and changed the pace at which I move forward. And I think that's still a really good season. Back outside. I still have time left this season to produce some herbs. So I'm going to plant up the 2 raised kitchen garden beds. I'm gonna plant this bed up with parsley, and I'm excited to use Reid Homestead Dream first-generation parsley seed, plus a little bit of the bought seed that I have left over. I'm going to plant a lot because there's only about 5 to 6 weeks left until the first frost. And that'll give me the best chance of getting the most I can before the cold slows down the growing process. And it feels good to be planting again. Okay, add the water and this one's done. I am pretty much gonna repeat the process the plant this sped up with basil. Except I don't have Reid Homestead Dream seed yet, so we're using bought seed. The shadows of my arms moving is me sprinkling the basil seed. Okay, now I have both my kitchen beds planted with herbs that I hope will grow to a big fluffy ball of green. And a reminder that I still have beautiful flowers growing in my garden. And I'm going to learn how to harvest zinnia seeds as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts, wonderful dreamers. Let me know in the comments. I hope you had a good day.